All leave me.
Hi, it's Vicky Whitfield.
It's George Flanagan Jr. here.
Paul Cook here.
Hey up guys, Conor here.
Ben Crooks here. Welcome to the Two Yorkshire for the Saint Rugby League podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Together we rise, no room for fear. In this Super League we unite as one.
Welcome to Monday Night Live on the Two Yorkshire for a Saint Rugby League podcast, powered by Acorn Joinery Leeds. Karl, there's going to be an interesting one today. I can see it happening.
I didn't want to say too much too early, Gaz. But
It is what it is, isn't it?
Winner. Yeah, sometimes you've got to take the rough with the
Here's our
smooth,
buzzer.
haven't you? Good evening, Buzzer. Just before we get on to the...
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth. One of the regulars on the pod, Bazza Kingston. Happy 50th, mate. I know you don't want to admit that you're 50, but we'll go with 50. We'll go with 50, mate. I'm sure I'll get some slather back in the comments. The normal cat call is obviously to like and subscribe. We've got us QR codes as well at the top of the screen as normal, so keep with them. Pete's in the chat. Good evening, Pete. I hope your lad's okay after Bazza give him some abuse on Friday night. Jordan, just before we get on to the individual games itself, mate, just pull us that graphic up and have a look at the results as a whole. That's just passed us by in round 21. We've got there, obviously, the Giants getting a win over Hull FC. The Robins just about doing the job on the Bradford Bulls. The Rhinos rampage to a 46 victory over Toulouse. And a disappointing defeat from St Helens away at York. The first game of this round 21 was Thursday night. It was an 8 p.m. kickoff. Huddersfield Giants versus the Black and Whites of Hull FC. Gaz, 22-16 in favour of the Giants. We discussed, in previous weeks that Huddersfield's Giants was really, really struggling, and it turns out Hull FC are struggling as much as the Giants.
Yeah, it's a result I expected. To be fair, I mean it looks like they're starting to play a bit better now, Huddersfield, and I don't know what's going on with FC, but I thought we had problems, but they're really, really down now, aren't they?
They certainly are, mate.
Oh, Stefan started already. Gee, here we go.
And this is the hardest bit about trying to sort of coordinate between the three of us is people's banter trying to put us off. So we have to stay strong-minded and really, really plough on. Jordan, round one. Where do we put this? Where do we put this Hull FC squad at the moment? I mean, you're looking for positive things to say about them, but you're really, really struggling. And I know you said in previous weeks, and people in the comments, etc., and people on social media have been saying Hull FC are a sleeping giant. Now, for me, I don't see them as a giant no more because they're never waking up, are they?
No, they are very poor, aren't they? They deserve to be where they are. Let's be honest. They're on probably their third, fourth, maybe. Complete turnaround. They don't know what the word is that I'm trying to find. Basically, trying to change the team again, aren't they? And it's going to be one of those a transitional period. That's what I'm trying to say. Going through the third or fourth transitional period.
Hey up, Joel.
They're going to end up going through that again. I do feel McNamara's probably the right guy for him next year. It might get them fired up and go in a little bit. They're lacking that attack threat for me. They're coming off so easy in games that they're not playing to end. Like when you you think of like York and Toulouse and Bradford even. They play right to end, regardless of the result, and you just don't see that from Hull FC. They seem to just park the bus and just kind of lay down, and I think it's a very disappointing year for him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I mean, guys, the first half they did okay. Logan Moy was making some good breaks and some half breaks and really creating some. And to be fair to the ex-Saints man, Joe Batchelor, he had a good dig. He scored a try. He broke the line a number of times. So it's the veterans who are sort of making the half breaks along with these young kids like Moy, but they're not really putting anything together as a collective. It's all individuals, and when individuals do something, you're only ever going to have periods in the game. You're never going to be consistent for a long period of time and really force your hand to try and take the 2 points. And I think that's fair in what happened in that first half.
Yeah, it's almost like they can play all right, and then as soon as something doesn't go their way, like they'll concede a try this shouldn't be or whatever, their heads just completely drop.
Yeah, and the thing is that really, really stood out for me as well. There's a lot of senior players there, and I don't normally single players out, but Aidan Caesar, he stood there arguing with the referee, and it's like you're an experienced player. These young lads really, really need you as a senior player, and I'm only assuming that he'll be one of the highest earners, which I'd imagine he will be. Surely, Jordan, you've got to show a bit more leadership skills than what he did on Thursday night.
Yeah, I just for me, I feel like he's done now. This Caesar, like, yeah, he can play a good performance now and again. But yeah, it's not just him. There's a lot of players in that team that don't show that professionalism sort of thing. Like I say, I think they're all probably needing to either move on or a big revamping in team. Obviously, as you can probably imagine, will happen. There's no there, is there? There's no leadership there at all. It's quite poor, really.
Yeah, he's certainly got his word cut on next year, Steve McNamara, that is for sure. Just a word on the Giants, guys. I mean, we said, didn't we, where's the next win going to come from? And I think all three of us tipped Hull FC to get beat by the Giants at weekend. And I think that's the first time in a long time we've all three of us have, sort of called the correct result. And the Giants fully deserved it, didn't they? They really held on until the very end, and it was good for the win in the end.
Yeah, they've built on the win from last week as well. They beat York, didn't they? Last week, was it?
Yeah.
York.
Yeah, so they've really built on that. And obviously, I know I definitely believe that York are a better side than FC at the minute, but yeah, it's not looking good for FC, is it? I mean, I know you're a KR through and through, but would you want them to go down?
Probably not, mate. I can sit here and be as biased as I want, but I don't think it benefits the city, and I don't think it benefits the Super League either, losing that derby. And to be fair to the black and white supporters, they do turn out in numbers regardless, of how the team's doing. So I can never fault that side of it. So my answer would probably be no. I know there'll be a few people in the chat and all the rest of it. I've got to be unbiased, and I don't think it does anybody any favours. Then if there was a relegation on the cards, I just don't think it'd be beneficial for the game as a whole. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Giants, obviously Jim Lenihan's really starting to have the effect on his team now. And one thing I did notice, Jordan, Wolford started at hooker, and then he swapped to 13. And there's a little bit of jiggery pokey going around in the game at the time, and it's really paying off for him at the minute. I mean, young guys is playing well. They've got experienced campaigners. Flanagan Jr. had another good game, scored a good try. Yeah. Absolutely socked it to the black and white fans in the end. So yeah, definitely deserve the win, mate, and they're certainly moving forward now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, this is a thing with Giants. Obviously, we probably weren't saying this months and months ago, because I'm pretty sure they were at a stage where Castleford were kind of similar, where it was just kind of knock season on head, look for next year. But obviously, it's a long season, as we know. The thing I like about the Giants at the moment is, or in general, I know results have been going their way, but obviously the last 2 weeks has, but they're playing with freedom. And you know, they're not expecting probably to, even as harsh as it sounds, they're probably not expecting to win most games. So the pressure's already off. So they're just kind of going out there and just giving it their all. And, you know, like we've said previously about we don't know where the next wins are coming from. They probably know that themselves, and they go out there and they try the best. And, you know, fortunately for them, the last 2 weeks is you know, they've hit nail on head. So let's just hope they can keep going. They've got some really good individual players in there, and they look like they're trying to start playing as a proper team. I know they've had injuries as well, so that's a big effect on them. But obviously that's the same for every team. But yeah, I'm liking how they're going at the moment. They just need to just keep going. And hopefully they'll get out of that 14th spot. I know it's going to take a couple of wins, but it'd be nice to see Hull FC at the bottom end of the season.
Yeah, well, if my memory serves me correct as well, Gaz, I think you'll play Hull FC this weekend. I mean, if you'll beat Hull FC and Huddersfield manage to, you know, I think they'll be level on points at that point. So, you know, it can soon turn around, can't it?
Yeah, it's... If you're going to go off, you know, form and all that, I think Huddersfield deserves to finish higher, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure
Jordan knows.
I'm pretty sure Hull FC have got better points difference than I think Huddersfield is horrendous, because obviously they were getting hammered, weren't they? Nearly every game at the beginning of the season. So obviously we'll look at table after, won't we? But
I'll look this up now.
Yeah, I know. I think they've both shipped 200 plus. I think they're on 200 minus between the pair of them. I think I could be wrong, but like you say, we'll touch on that a bit later on. So yeah, the Giants came away with a 22-16. Are you there, mate? Are you gone? Your internet, is it your internet or is it mine or what?
No, it's just
200 difference, yeah. I've no idea.
So...
Yeah, go on, Karl.
There's a bit of delaying going on here, but yeah. So like I said, the Giants came away with a fully, you know, deserved 22-16 win over the Black and Whites of Hull FC.
It's not this
on
bloody
Friday
shed
night.
At all.
Have I got you both?
Yeah, you've got me.
Bit of black screen.
I think it's your Gaz, because you've gone, you know, still. I can't see you, can't hear you.
You've gone rigor mortis.
You've gone rigor mortis, exactly. So we'll try and plow on, and hopefully you can get back with us, mates. Friday night there was 3 games: Rhinos versus Toulouse, the Robins versus the Bradford Bulls, and the Lee Leopards versus the Warriors. The first game was a 46-0 victory for the table-topping Leeds Rhinos at Headingley against the French outfit Toulouse. I mean, Jordan, you was texting me during the game, and I was texting you during my game. It wasn't, was it? Would you say it was as clear cut as the sort of scoreline suggested in the end? Because I know it wasn't. It was close for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I went to the game. It was obviously the game I went to, and it was very. It weren't clear cut at the beginning. It were very tight. Come first 10-15 minutes, it were quite tight. He's back.
My Wi-Fi out.
Oh, what it? It were quite equal, to be fair. The only difference is with Toulouse is I don't know whether it was because Bot were missing, and a couple of others maybe, but they just seemed quite flat. There were never really a time where I were worried about them scoring. I think they had maybe 3 or 4 chances near his line, but his defense was just solid. Yeah, you just, to be fair, it was a good game to watch. It was a good game to watch. It was very one-way game. Sorry, probably half an hour in, it was probably game over. Probably before half time, I'd probably say, but I think it was 18-0 at half time. So, yeah, I think by that point it was kind of gone already.
No, it's a fair point, and I know I'll pull you up a little bit here because I know last week you was fairly a little bit won't say insecure, 'cause that's maybe the wrong word, but a little bit concerned with a few injuries that the Rhinos have been getting recently. Obviously, no Ryan Hall, Sivo with the wrist injury. Obviously, Danny Levi's was in a bit of bother the week before against Cass, wasn't he? So I know your squad's been tested, mate. And is that a massive, massive concern moving forward?
Do you know, it still is. It still is. I'm still not. I probably do feel similar to. I know it sounds weird saying that when you just put 46 points nil back past the team, but when I watched the game, it were very much forwards for Leeds. It was very much forwards. Oledsky and Holroyd were just insane. I think we actually struggled when we actually passed the ball out. Newman obviously played wing, which he played quite well, to be fair, but obviously I think he was a bit out of position there. I don't think he was comfortable there. What is it? Riley Lum was shocking, absolutely shocking. Made a few breaks down the line, kept cutting back inside. Didn't back himself. Probably low on confidence, if I'm being honest. It were appalling. It were appalling. He did manage to score at the end, but he had a really bad game. So we were struggling on the wings, if I'm being honest. Which makes me surprised how we actually got that many points past. But O'Connor were fantastic from acting half. Obviously, the props were great. McDonald had another great game. Connor obviously played really well as well. Brody played okay. Probably not like he did the weeks before, but he played okay. Miller was... Miller's gone a bit off, to be fair, if I'm being honest. He's not playing as good as I know he can. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's one of those points again with his dropouts. He did a short dropout and it went out on full, and I absolutely was kicking myself because I was screaming. I was screaming down bloody South Stand. I went, "What are you doing?" These short dropouts, I hate them. But yeah, it were good, mate. It were good. It's just, I think when you're playing these bigger teams, if we've got the side we've got out now, I think we'd struggle a lot. It were the forwards. I know we say most games are the forwards that kind of get you in those positions, but the forwards actually did. I mean, Holroyd scored, Oledsky scored, and let's be fair, not props don't always score in games, so that kind of said a lot that both his props scored. It were like we were struggling to score, if that makes sense. But overall, I can't sit here and say I'm disappointed with 46-0. You know, it's a great result, isn't it? It's just
against the form team as well.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, we had Hankinson back as well, so that was a good. He played okay. He didn't play, out of his skin or whatever, but he played okay. Yeah, it's just getting his bodies back. And trying to get some sort of team together. I don't know what they need to do about the wing. Excuse me. I don't realistically like his options on the wing. I think if Alfie Edgill's playing, I'm happy with that. I know he had an injury, but we are very short on the wings now, if I'm being honest. I mean, when you put in Harry Newman on wing, it's kind of saying a lot in it. So, but I will have a shout out for just before we move on, Zach Lloyd. He had a fantastic debut. He come on, I think, about 20 minutes left at game. First tackle he got, he won as a penalty. Absolutely fantastic runner at ball. I'm hoping he's going to be one that's for future. So fair play to the lad. But yeah, quite happy with the result here.
Yeah, all in all, a good day at the office. And Gaz, just a word on to Toulouse. I mean, how do they go from doing what they did to you guys and then pretty much shipping the exact same score against the Rhinos? It surely can't just be down to one.
I didn't see the game, but was Ashall Bott not playing?
No, he won't play, no.
There you go. There's my answer. He's the one making that team tick. I'm not calling them a one-man team because they're all making effort, but everything goes through him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just so bizarre how they ship all them points one week, but then do what they did a few weeks back. It's just so bizarre.
I think every team has that though. I think when I'm not saying they're a one-man team, but I think when something works, it's like when Connor or Brody gets ball, because they've been doing it so well all season, it just works. So they've obviously found a niche a little bit with Ashall Bot, where if he's running plays, they've found that little niggle there where they found a way to get through to teams and break defenses. So every team's got that player. It's just finding where they want to play and, you know, all that stuff. So unfortunately, yeah, he probably has cost them maybe that game because they were very flat in that game, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's even with him playing, it's hard. It's hard to say that they'd go on and win the game. It's nigh on impossible to say that, but it'll definitely have an impact on what they do in attack. So he'll be certainly missed. The other game, or one of the other two games on Friday night, was Hull Kingston Rovers at home to the Bradford Bulls. 40 points to 16 in favour of the Robins. I mean, I'm not going to lie here, lads. There was still a little bit patchy, and I know we have these comparisons of the Robins and comparing them to previous seasons, but they've just got this knack. And I spoke to Baz before the game, and then I'm texting him during the game, and there's just this little thing with the Robins at the minute where they're on top in games, but they're not really ruthless. They're not putting teams away when they should do. Now, previous seasons, you'll give Rovers a 20-minute sniff, and they're wiping the floor with you, aren't they?
Yeah,
they just start doing this. They're leaving far too many points out on that field. I mean, people can say, "Oh, yeah, but you scored 40 points." Yeah, but we probably should have scored 60. The amount of ball they dropped, and really unforced errors that are uncharacteristic. The Bradford Bulls, they had a few missing, but the slag Joe Meller, Ryan Sutton, Connor Wynn he went off during the game, but he started, and Luke Hooley played. So there was some recognised players, but there was, obviously people missing as well. But again, they just don't give up, and to say where they've come from to where they are now, they're not just going to be a wipe on the floor for anybody. They're certainly going to be a challenge every single week, regardless who's missing. And we say that pretty much every week, guys, don't we, in terms of Bradford Bulls?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the amount of players that they've had out through the season as well, and considering, it's the first season back in Super League after, 12 years?
14, isn't it?
Long time.
They're not doing half bad. They're still in a decent position. I mean, I don't think they're going to drop below FC or depends on how Huddersfield go these next few games, but I don't think they'll drop below FC, if I'm going to be honest.
No, certainly not. And in terms of the Robins as well, I mean, so I said there about, keeping teams in the game and not really getting rid of these teams when they need to. They're just, in saying that, there's been a lot of changes recently in the halves, and a big shout out to Ryan Hampshire, because he stepped up. To say that, I think he's only played 3 games all year. He played 1 game at fullback. He's done really well to come in, take over the kicking in that first half when Reece Martin wasn't on the field. And he got some good assists and some good early ball out to the wings. I mean, I don't know if you lads saw the Tyrone May try as well. Tyrone May is just one of them where he does out for half an hour, and then for 3 minutes, he pretty much lights the field up with his magic. And people can say, "Oh yeah, people, the opposing players should have tackled him, etc." But the way he is with that ball, and he's so elusive, his running game. You think he's gonna gas out, and you're gonna pull him down, and the next thing he puts a step on, and he's gone. He's so elusive in his running game. And
the thing with Tyrone May, which I really admire, is it's like it looks like he's depleted. Like he just kind of stands there sometimes, and then he'll get the ball and he'll be boom straight into a play. Like I think he's such a smart player, because you do get these, don't you? Where obviously I'm not gonna judge players' fitnesses and all this stuff, but like when you get some players who kind of run ragged and they just never stop running. I think he's quite a smart player. I think he knows where he is. He knows where he needs to stand and all that stuff in attack. And when he gets the ball, he just then starts turning it on. And he just seems to have a bundle of energy. And I think when people say like, "Oh, he's not done out for 60 minutes or whatever," it's because he's smart, and he knows that he don't want to waste all his energy trying to do stuff when he don't need to. he's got his other players for that. So when it comes to it, I just think he's a really smart player, and I think he's underrated.
Yeah, certainly is.
Joe, not far
Yeah.
wrong when he's commenting
Yeah.
on here. He'll drop a few comments, you bug us off, then he'll pop up again at some point.
And people,
literally.
I was just about to say what Baz has said there. I mean, some people refer to halfbacks playing in dinner suit, don't they, quite often? But Tyrone May just plays the game he wants to play, and everybody else is just along for the ride in his eyes. But yeah, quality player. Rovers played well enough to get the victory, obviously, fellas. But if they want to go deep into the playoffs, they're really going to have to up the game. Obviously, for that to happen. But ultimately, I said before the game, it was just about getting the 2 points and moving on. And that's exactly what the Robins did. So credit where it's due, and Bradford Bulls will certainly come again. The last game on Friday night was the Lee Leopards 8, the Wigan Warriors 20. I mean, I think I called it last week, didn't I, Gaz, that it'd probably be the game of the round. I was probably wrong in the end, because I think your game was in a little bit of a way, but I think it's safe to say that the Leopards was a bit hard done at halftime.
I'm going to ignore Bazza. Yeah, it's been one of those games, hasn't it, recently, Lee and Wigan, because obviously Lee have improved a lot. But yeah, I expected. I didn't think it'd be a high-scoring game, but it's the result I expected.
Yeah, it's. I actually had a Wigan fan text me after the game and said the scoreline flattered the Warriors, but we all know what we get from the Warriors, don't we? You can be playing at 70% and still pick up the 2 points very, very easily. I don't. My override emotion with the Leopards is we know they're a good side, but they just fall a bit too short too often against them top teams, don't they? They can play 3 top teams in, maybe on the bounce, get one good win but lose 2. And I'm not so sure. Again, I think they'll make the playoffs. I think that's fairly obvious, but will they go deep into the competition? I'm not sure for them reasons. I mean, how do you see the Leopards between now and the end of the season, Jordan?
Well, obviously Trinity are showing him up a little bit, aren't they? Because I think Trinity are basically doing what Leopards did last season, just kind of trying to cement that position where they are. I don't think Wakefield will finish second.
No bottom.
I think that's no disrespect to them. I think they might finish 3rd or 4th, but Leopards are thereabouts. They're just like you say, they've fallen off a couple of times. If I'm being honest though, compared to where they were this season, obviously I backed them, did it at the beginning of the season for them to kind of do well, and then obviously it kind of fell off, and then they've started to play again. I just think I think they'll be there. I think they'll be all right. They're just obviously you're playing Wigan. I think their results against Wigan. I can't remember the last time they beat him. If I'm being honest, they've. I know they've beat him last 2 playoff games, haven't they? They knocked him out last 2. Yeah. Is it 2 seasons? Semi-finals. So it's one of the reasons why I wanted them to win. It's going to happen at some point, and we all know it's going to happen at some point because you can't not. But yeah, I think they've maybe just got that thing with Wigan. Maybe just got that thing with Wigan where they're the bogey team and they can't seem to can't get past them. I mean, weren't the 8-6 up at one point were Lee? And obviously, I know it's only 2 points, but they have got it in them to win games. And like you say, when you're playing Wigan, I don't think any team in the league is gonna, brush
Nobody's
Wigan.
Safe, are they? Nobody's safe with Wigan around.
Nowhere, not at all. And what's Bazza saying there? Last year, Lee did Wigan twice. Did they?
Yep.
Did they actually?
Extra time golden point in the first game, 1-0.
Oh well, shows you how much I know then. The 1-0 classic. Yeah.
I remember the 1-0 classic. Yeah, that was early doors.
Was it
round? Yeah, round 1, wasn't it?
Round 1. Yeah.
I've left.
Come on, Bazza, take me job.
I do. I do
don't be bringing
recall
him in
that.
here
I
again.
mean, one thing that Adrian Lamb won't be happy with is that try, that Jarfield score, where they're pretty much all 13 players on the field for the Leopards turn the back, and they had a quick tap, and he pretty much ran the full length of the field untouched Jarfield. I mean, that's criminal, Gaz, isn't it, at any level?
Yeah, I mean, it's first rule is it pay attention to what's going on the field. You know what I mean? Never turn your back on the opposition, because we know how quickly they want, especially how quickly they want the game now. You know what I mean? Players going to take a quick tap if they can do. Yeah, I've noticed that we're getting smaller by the screen, you know.
Getting
It's
what?
all
We're getting
Jordan's
smaller.
editing the legs.
Guys, either or my eyes are going.
Be a bit of both, but yeah, credit
Oh, yeah.
credit to the Warriors in the end. They came away with a 20 points to 8 victory.
Probably still
Saturday's
seeing
early
stars from
kickoff.
Saturday.
That's all the alcohol effect, I think, Gaz, that.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, the early kickoff on Saturday was the Cass Tigers 18, the Warrington Wolves 48. I mean, the Wolves weren't great, I didn't think. I just thought Cass had one of them games where they get a good win, they have a bad loss, they get a good win against Rhinos, and now they're having another bad loss. It sums up Ryan Carr's team at the minute, John, doesn't it?
Can I just say that Lado behind Matty Ashton there is giving him some proper evils to the camera? He said he's not happy, he bless him. I know how he feels.
It's like, who are you?
Yeah. F
Yeah.
off.
I think the phrase is when you're down with the kids is deaf staring, so I'm led to believe. Staring. That's what my youngest tells me all the time. Stop deaf staring, whatever that means. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
just aware of the Tigers, Jordan.
Yeah, no, they're it's one of them, and it's an hard game to win that. It's like I said in the Leeds game when they played Leeds, it were one of those things where they wanted to come back and win that game, and they did it. There were probably moments in that Warrington game where if they really wanted to try and get back in it, they would have done. They have got a good team. Yeah, it's patchy at times. I think they're still trying to find that connections with players, trying to find that form. Like I say, it is win one game, lose other. It is very much like that at the moment at Cass, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom, because, you know, when Carr turned up, they were dreadful, weren't they? They were probably worse than Huddersfield. So I think on a positive note, they've done a lot better than probably Carr expected. But they're still going, they're still in games, and they're still there, and you know they're a tough team to beat on the day when they want to turn up. So I think it's just one of them where I think Warrington have had a bad few weeks, and the building now they want to try and, you know, they've sloped down table a little bit, didn't they? And now I think they just kind of want to get back up there now. So credit to Warrington for getting win there.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, just a word on the Wolves, guys. We know they're not your favourite team in the Super League by any stretch, but I know they've been a little bit indifferent this season. But again, they pull another win out the bag and put another 48 points on a team.
Yeah, it's the weird. I mean, we all expect, it's the old thing, and it all Warrington, they always drop off towards the end of the season, and they have had that drop off, but you know, they pull out a win like that, and I'm not sure they've got next. We've got it here, don't we, somewhere. They got Bradford away. Now you expect them to win that one, wouldn't you? So I think they're going to be safe now. I think they're definitely in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it hurts me to say that they're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that is. They'll always get another couple of wins under the belt, and it's pretty much guaranteed. We're at that point of the season now where it's really starting to shape up, and you know every point matters. So fair play to Sam Burgess and his men. The next game was the 5:30 kickoff. The York Knights 34, St Helens 32. I mean, Gaz, you was there. You had a great day and night out. Can you tell us about the game as a whole, mate? And more to the point, can you remember it?
Yeah, unfortunately I can, but no, first of all, credit where it's due. I'm not going to take anything away from York. They deserve to win it. They were the better team. We had moments we were throwing the ball around and looked very dangerous, hence the Wellesby try when Robertson got out, which we'll go into in a bit. It's just weird. I mean, I'm stood there and I'm arguing with our own fans. Oh, I don't know. I've heard nothing about that, Adam, to be honest. But I'm stood there and people going, "How can you clap that?" And I'm thinking, we've got 18 players out. I know that's no excuse, but what do you want? What do you want from them? No one has a God-given right to win every game. And he went as far as to say that the Toulouse game was better. So I'd have walked away at that point. So he's not worth talking to you.
So basically,
in regards to the
game,
game, bollocks to Jordan. I'm on one here now. Leave me alone. Discipline is our worst enemy at the minute. Give away far too many penalties, far too many 6 agains. One thing I'm going to have a kick off about, but a moan about is the amount of times we got pulled for forward passes, which rightly so, because they were forward. Bazza, leave me alone. I'll throw you out the pub. What fringe? Forgot what I was going to say now. Can we just kick him out?
Yeah, he was on about discipline and Saints' overall, issues.
Yeah. So yeah, we were pulled for a lot of forward passes, and rightly so. They were forward. I've got no argument with that. But where's the consistency in that? Is what I want to know.
Yeah,
because
there's a lot going on.
You've got Wigan throwing NFL passes.
Yeah,
you think Tom Brady was playing for him, and then we throw a couple over there and we get pulled up. I've even seen people moan about the one where you'll see in a minute. That was forward. It's bloody heck forward.
Yeah, well, it's
yeah. Do you know what? It all depends on the contact. I mean, if you've got in shoulder first, I can understand it, but he's wrapped the arms. He can't stop himself in that situation. It happens happens every game, and the fact it weren't up on the disciplinary says it all.
Yeah, and I think we discussed this in the WhatsApp group. Obviously, you was watching the game, so you probably didn't hear your phone. But with me, Adam, and Billy Ingram was discussing this. I thought they got it right. This day and age, the way the game is, whether he rapped or not, he was still late. Now, he's not late with any intent or malicious. I just think the game's a little bit softer than it has been in recent years. And in my opinion, he got that one right. So, like you said, Gaz,
it happens all the time. They don't blow it. It's like they blow it up when they want to.
It's not the fact that it's not the fact it's the wrong call. It's just inconsistent calls.
Yeah,
very
that's
similar
what I mean.
Incidents.
If you're going to put these rules into place, stick by them. I think that's where the frustration's coming from a lot. And it's not just us; it's across the league. That's where the frustration's coming amongst rugby league fans is the inconsistency in enforcing the rules because they just do it when it suits them.
Yeah, it's always down to the referee's discretion, and every referee's totally different. I mean, that's the problem.
Like last season, in that that quarter final against Leeds, the argument over the Benison try or no try. You know what I mean? The consistency's not there, and I can understand where Jordan was coming from, being upset about it. I mean, I would be as well. But it just proves, was it Wigan Warrington when they gave a try even though the ball was on the player's arm. But we do the same thing and it's chalked off. Yeah. Again, just a comparison. It's not saying that they're against us. It's across the board. And it's really starting to wind people up.
Yeah. It's
I've just gone on the tangent, nothing to do with our game now.
Well, that's what it's all about, his opinions. And obviously, your heart is on your sleeve, isn't it? And that's how it's coming across. And that's what we want to.
I have to say, though,
heart was at my feet. I think I threw it up.
I have to say, though, when you're talking about inconsistency and that, I was saying this to you, Karl, but I actually was stressing about it. And it's nothing against the ref as a whole, but Tara Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She had a shocking game on Friday.
Yeah.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And it's probably the first one I've actually seen. It was shocking. There were forward passes. There were knock-ons in the play of the balls. There were a foot in touch. There were penalties that weren't penalties. She was shocking. She was really shocking. She disallowed a few tries that Rhinos did that were actual tries. We didn't win that game with her. That's 100%. She were appalling. She really were really bad. Really bad.
I can understand the ref having a bad game when it's always happens all the time.
Yeah, I was just about to say I think we can pretty much forgive her because
yeah,
bad ones this year.
Yeah,
let's just try and stay on topic a little bit, fellas. Just want to get your opinion on Eamon and Karl at the minute, Gaz. Obviously, 2 games in as the interim, as they call it now, interim coach. I mean, he can't do much in the space of a couple of weeks. But have you seen anything where you can suggest improvement?
Yeah, I mean, they look a lot more interested, the players now. It actually looks like they're playing for the coach now. It's a daunting job. I mean, he got thrown in the deep end, Wigan away first game on a day's notice. He had to deal with that, and then obviously he had a week or 8 days to get ready for this. But yeah, I mean, and he's not going to be the permanent answer. We know that 'cause he's moving to Union, but I don't mind it. I mean, he's within the playing group. He knows them all. He seems to get on well with them from what I've seen last week. So it's one of them. We just have to deal with what we've got. And whether we make the playoffs or not, it is what it is. And if it doesn't make the playoffs, then there's a lot of work to do in the off-season. And I think that's exactly what to give the club a kick up the backside that it really needs.
Yeah. I think you said that for a couple of weeks now. It's, and people might look at that and think, oh, what you're talking about. But sometimes, that reset is needed to really get an honest reflection of where you are as a club. And me as an outsider looking in,
not making the playoffs.
Yeah, and maybe that's probably the best thing for the club moving forward. But obviously, everybody will have an opinion on that. Jordan, we've talked about Saints, but in every win, obviously, you've got to credit the team that does win. I mean, the York Knights, they've got some bodies of their own missing, mate. And, they really, really turned it on, didn't they? And, for the St. Helens faults that they had, York punished them at times, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. Like I say, I do think Saints are, struggling with, obviously, Rowley going. There's a lot of things thrown up in the head. I don't think anyone can expect Saints to just kind of get back on and play fantastic. There's a lot of stuff going on, like Gaz has mentioned.
It's not an overnight fix.
No, it's not. It's not an overnight fix at all. Did I think Saints would win that? Yes, I did. I was very surprised with that. Entertaining to watch for a neutral, I'll be honest. There were a moment where I thought Saints were going to come back because I think you scored 2 tries in like 5 minutes or something, didn't you? And I thought, oh, it's on, is this? But yeah, credit to York. They hung in right to the end. And I think when you're a York fan, player, whatever, coach, I think, just to win that game is huge. And we all know that that's probably their biggest ever win. Let's be fair. I know Saints aren't Saints right this second, but it's still a massive win for York, is that?
It's the first time York have beat us in 80 years.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, but there you go. It's I say it would be the same if they beat Leeds. If they beat Ulcar, it'd be the same. I mean, they beat Ulcar, so sorry, Karl.
We had to drop that one in, didn't I? Drop that one in.
Do you know when I said it? I just totally didn't even think.
Yeah, you did.
And he's out.
I'll let it do it. I'll let the computer do the work for me. No, mate. It's a big scalp, innit, for the York Knights. And one of the things that really, really caught my eye during that game, which you can look back now and probably say that give York the right to win, there was at one point, I think it was in the second half, Harry Robertson broke down the left-hand side, and Jordan Thompson, the veteran loose man, came from nowhere to stop him going through. And them sort of last six tackles always stick in my mind, Gaz, more than a try score. So they definitely deserved it.
And I think I did the right thing. I think there's players behind, so if he tried to offload it, would have lost possession of the ball anyway. So he's great tackle, but at the same time, Harry's done the right thing by taking the tackle.
Do you agree with that one, Gaz?
Absolutely spot on, that is.
Yeah, I'd say same.
Yeah, he's a lot more comfortable and effective at 6. It's his position.
Definitely so.
I think that has to happen to be, for it to benefit the team, Gaz, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd like to see him and Whitby as 6 and 7. But what do I know? I'm just a divvy sat in here in front of a microphone, Anna.
I'm sure that'll come in time, mate. That is for sure. The last game of the round was the Catalan Dragons 12, Wakefield on fire Trinity 32. This was 8 p.m. kickoff in the south of France. I mean, they didn't have it all their own way, Wakefield, but Jesus Christ, can they punish teams at the moment, Jordan?
Yeah, they're a scary outfit, aren't they? Let's be fair. I've said this for weeks now. Even just in general, I've said it. They have got a lot of threat, especially on them wings. They've got. I think their main issue has been like the 6 and 7. Over the last few years, it's been that where they've not been consistent enough, or they haven't turned up in big games. Excuse me. And I think they've kind of sorted that out. I think Jake Truman has been a brilliant signing. He's fitting there perfect. I know Sinfield played. I'm not too sure where. I'm not too sure who's the partnership at the moment. Between them, is it Sinfield and Truman, or is it?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a great team. They're a great team, and it's showing that hard work does pay off. And I think Darryl Powell's done really well with them this year. And I don't know where I see him come end of season, but I think for Wakefield fans, for the whole Wakefield in general, coach players, I think it's a refreshing thing because they're kind of overdoing, they're kind of going above their own expectations, if that makes sense. I think they're in that sort of dilemma where we don't know where we're going to finish. Let's just kind of go out there and just see, because kind of wherever they finish, they're going to do better probably than they've ever done. So let's just hope they can kind of keep within that top 4, and it'd be very interesting. So fair play to them.
Yeah, I just want to give a bit of acknowledgement as well to Josh Rock. I mean, he's been outstanding all season. He's absolutely tearing defences a new one, isn't he? I mean, he was picked up from London a couple of seasons ago for next to now, and Darryl Powell's done what Darryl Powell does. He turns a so-called average player into an absolute star by giving him the freedom of the pitch and saying, go and expressing yourself, guys. And, that clearly shows with Josh Rock.
Yeah, definitely does. And also on the subject of Wakefield, I would go as far as to say that they've got the most cohesive pack in Super League. I would say they have the best pack. Yeah. And that's where it all comes off, the back of the forwards doing what they do.
I'd have that for Fiti any day of the week.
Oh, all day.
He's absolutely outstanding.
I've still got the one big question with me with Wakefield, and only time will tell is that can they do that in a knockout footy game
in the
at
pressure
the back
games.
end of the season? Under a little bit of adversity where you're defending your own line for a long time. Can you keep that top team out in terms of Leeds or Wigan? And obviously we'll see Friday night, won't we? Leeds and Wakefield. So some more questions might get answered in terms of that.
And that's the thing, Karl. You've had to answer those questions. As OKR, when you got up there, you had to answer those questions as well. So have Lee in recent years. So it's their turn now.
Yeah, it's all well and good winning the regular rounds, when there's not much pressure on, and you've got a fully fit, squad and all the rest of it. It's when you're in adversity and you're in the trenches during games. Can your man set to be right? Nobody's going to break us down, and then we go up the other end and get some points. So, as well as they're doing at the minute, there's still questions to be answered in terms of how serious people think Wakefield are. But yeah, as for the Catalan Dragons, Gaz, the Dragons are just being the Dragons at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think that their season's well and truly over now. Anyway, I don't think they can get to the playoffs, can they? So, it's between us and Lee for 6th spot now, and we're gonna have to beat them at their place if we want it, as well as beating another 3 of the top 6 in our remaining games.
Yeah, and that's what I love so much at this time of the year. Every result, every point, every goal conversion can mean something and really make a difference to one of them 14 Super League teams somewhere down the track. That is for sure. So it's all on now, fellas, and like you say, every moment matters. Jordan, pull us that table up, mate, and we'll look at some positions and where we all are in terms of what we've just discussed. I mean, I'm sick of seeing Leeds Rhinos at the top. I don't know about you two fellas, but looking down at us like peasants. The Giants are still propping everybody up, but only by 2 points now. And, well, you could say technically 3 points when you look at that minus points difference. It's staggering, really, isn't it? You know, how much Huddersfield have conceded. So
I'll tell you this, though, Karl. This fixture between Warrington and KR that's coming up going to be a very, very important game. Like, more important by the week.
Yeah, and we've got 3 games in the space of 2 weeks, pretty much. Less than 2 weeks, anyway. So that'll be
that's what comes with success, isn't it?
I mean, if Warrington, for me, wouldn't have slipped off and they'd have stayed that 2nd spot, because we're right behind Leeds, weren't they, at one point, I reckon that would have been a more of a interesting than anything with that game. But I think at the moment now, I think that's kind of just makes who jumps who, you know, right now. But yeah, if they'd have stayed 2nd with Leeds, I reckon it could have been the one that decisive of who jumps us, which I reckon they could have done that if they'd have beaten Rovers in this game coming up. But yeah, it's a tight table, isn't it?
Just looking at that as well, Gaz. I know you said about, you know, it might be the best thing for Saints missing out, but it's only 2 points, mate. Catalan, there's obviously that bridge between yourself and Catalan in terms of 4 points, but there's maybe 2 points, and then, you know, who knows what can happen.
The thing is, though, you look at that points difference. Now, the close one we had is Warrington, and that's 112 points behind them. I think that is going to be the difference in us not being in that top 6. I'm actually going to go out and say now, I don't think we're going to get in there.
Well, it is out of you and Lee, innit, let's be fair, or Hull, whichever. Catalans, I think I was saying this last week, Catalans have kind of, you can't be below Catalans, can you? You've got a bit of a buffer there. So you either just miss out or you're 7th, aren't you?
Well, there's 6 points between us there, so I don't know. It depends what the running's like. I mean, I know ours is difficult, but that's just the game of rugby league. In the end of the day, you can't predict where people are going to be when you put the fixtures together, can you?
No, that's true.
So you just have to play what's in front of us.
That's it, shaping up nicely, fellas. Jordan, that's the live ladder onto your team of the week. I'm hoping it's not full of Leeds Rhinos players after your convincing win. Cool. Obviously, it's your team, so we'll see.
Well, my team of the week this week for round 21. I do as I always have said. I compliment the players that I think should be complimented. So we'll let's have a look and see if you guys agree or not.
Done. Stats are in, the battles won, crunching tackles, tries galore. We rake the very best on the floor, from fullback deep to the front row pride. Here's who stood out side by side. Strong
Yeah. Do you know what? Got no. Well, there's one switch I would make, and it's very close. I'd take Burgess out for Benison. I thought he had a cracking game against us.
Yeah, Benison did. Yeah, I nearly picked him. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'd chop and change. I'd bend the rules a little bit here. I'd probably pull Minchella out of your team, and I'd probably put Litton in at 9 and have Wolford at 13 because that's what happened during Huddersfield game. But apart from that, mate, I found it hard to disagree with majority of them. So,
well, I think, like I say,
fair play.
Obviously, I know it's kind of coming from a biased side, but obviously when I went to lose game, and I was saying this to Karl, Gaz, when you were going a bit off with Signal, even though Leeds won 46-0, it was very much the packs. Oledzki and Holroyd were fantastic. Like, both of them scored. So it said everything. We were struggling to score on them wings. And them two were just fantastic. So from a biased point of view, I had to pick them both because they were sensational in that pack.
No, it's a fair call. Jordan, that is your team of the week. Now Gaz is going to show us his try of the week.
Hunter gets it away. Another high tester. Wellesby's underneath it. Oh, the ball's come loose again here. Saints putting themselves under real pressure. Oh, and then he comes away with it. Robertson, brilliant stuff, finding Sailor. Sailor going all the way up the halfway line. He's got support in the shape of Wellesby. Oh, it's unbelievable. Incredible stuff from St Helens. Right on their own try line. Backpedaling, going nowhere. And a bit of genius from Harry Robertson has turned defence into attack. They go down the other end, and this game is far from over.
The kick in consummate fashion, and then he decided, come what may, they were going to play, and they were going to play from here. The first pass nearly undid everybody. Nick Williams nearly pounced, but take a bow, Harry Robertson. How good are you? Down the outside, Sailor in support, and it is one of the tries of the season. Sailor puts on the afterburners. Wellesby back supported on the inside, as he has done for the second time. Picks up his brace, and you can watch this 1,000 times.
Not wrong with that. I wouldn't have said forward pass at all.
I know. I've upset Bazza, but do you know what? I'm not asked. He's upsetting me enough. No, it's one of them. I mean,
it's a pass in it that you have to throw. So for me, like, I didn't see that in the forward
and
pass.
do you know what? At that point in the game where you've got your 2 scores down, you've got nothing to lose.
No.
Try something.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come off,
yeah.
shit happens. It does. I mean, yeah, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But
Of course.
How Harry Robertson got out of that is beyond me. He had no right getting out of that situation. And he did.
Not at all.
This
is its thing. Wellesby put him in such a bad position there. He put his whole team in a horrendous position there. And like I said in group, it looked like York player had it. And if he would have had it, he'd have scored. So it was one of those things where
that could have been something they've worked on. They could have gone, listen, if we've got our backs against the wall, get yourself out.
Yeah, they would just.
So I can see why he's done it.
Yeah, 100%.
No, and that's it. And I was just about to say, fellas, while that clip was getting played, like, if St Helens are to try and improve for the remainder of the season, that combination needs to be on point more often than not.
Yeah.
The Robertson to Sailor to Sail the well, and that triangle of people, because as much as people want to call Jack Wellesby, he's still a talented rugby player, and he's obviously he's going to be very important for the rest of the season in terms of Saints running.
When you think about where he was when he passed that ball to where he had to be to finish the try, he's put some graft in there. He really has. And he made up for the mistake by being there to finish it.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. For all the faults and the criticism he's had, you've got to praise him for that, mate, because he hasn't give up the ghost, has he?
That's it. I mean, there's a lot of Saints fans and I'm guilty of it myself. I've absolutely flogged him in recent weeks, but when you think about how much rugby he's missed in the last couple of years, he got rushed back, as far as I'm concerned, and he even said himself in that interview, it was a couple of weeks earlier, that hampered him for England as well. Then he picked up another injury like the first couple of rounds of this season. Missed a lot of rugby. There's going to be rust there. And he's just had to take a few weeks to shake it off, and it looks like he has done now.
Yeah.
And that's fair play to him. Obviously a strong character. So for the people watching, you've seen the team of the week. You've seen the Gaz's try of the week. There's a common theme going on here. My player of the week is fairly obvious. My player of the week is...
Sailor waiting just behind him, pushed away. This is good work. Robertson found himself a bit of space, needs some support, finds Wellesby, and that's a great tackle. Wellesby will get a second attempt now. Careful not to get penalised once more as Sailor, jinking run from him, does well, keeps it in play and finds Robertson. Robertson getting away from his defender, still going, Harry Robertson. This is brilliant work if he can get to the line.
But he's lucky he's not sat down for the remainder of this game.
Ooh, it's rolling around at the back here. St Helens living dangerously at the moment as York Knights really try and stop them getting any further possession. But this is Harry Robertson again. A superb run from him. Still going, Harry Robertson. Still going, Harry Robertson. They can't bring him down. They get it away. Keeley out wide to the left flank for Davies, who's going to go all the way.
Oh, what a tackle!
Oh,
What a tackle!
Jordan Thompson, I think it was, who got in there.
Absolute natural rugby league player. I mean, I'm one of those guys. Me, like people say, like, you know, how do you judge a player? What do you judge a player on? And one of the main things that I look for is, you know, would you have him in your team? Is he there?
Yeah.
Is that opposing team's best player? And I think it's evident to see that he is St Helens' best player, because everything he does touches to gold, and every opportunity created is, you know, 90% of the time is via Harry Robertson. Gaz, would you agree with that?
Yeah, especially in that game. And like I said, he's a lot more effective at 6. It's his natural position. But one thing I'm noticing with that is how often Robertson and Sailor are backing each other up.
Yeah.
Like, how many times did them two exchange the ball between each other just in those few clips? You know what I mean? I think that's a good combination going forward.
I think the thing I like about Robertson, and you know, is off the cuff, which, you know, especially that last play that you just saw then when he cut back inside and literally went like a diagonal across pitch. That's like a Danny Maguire stuff. That's something that you can't teach that. That's just built in you, and that was just fantastic. Like, and then that little flick outside back door, you know, nearly scored that try as well. That was sensational. It's a shame they didn't score there, but because that would have been probably one at try at seasons. But yeah, I just love the fact that he's so energetic. He runs all over. He doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, he's very awkward. He's like a gazelle, the way he moves.
Yeah, he's very awkward.
Yeah, there's not much of him, but he's so difficult. He's so elusive. Is the word I would imagine.
He's still very young as well. He's still got to put some beef on as well. So once he's filled out a bit more, I mean, he's gonna be something else. That kid.
Yeah, I hope if he keeps progressing.
We don't bring young players, so we've lost our identity apparently.
You're not still going on about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Matty P's rattled you, and it's still going.
It's just another part of proving him wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. No, what I was going to say is, like, all jokes aside, if he carries on like he's doing the next couple of seasons, it's going to be very difficult to keep hold of him, not just for St Helens.
Wakefield can keep their hands off him, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there was, discussions, weren't there, a few weeks ago, and rumours circulating that Wakefield was interested, but you can 100% see why, can't you? And credit to Harry, and long may it continue for the benefit of the competition. So we've seen all the good things, Gaz. I know this is your favourite segment of the week. So onto your bad lads corner.
Take myself trying to read. Joe, speaking of rattled, I think I've rattled Bazza with that choice of try of the week because he's had a little to do there and he's buggered off.
he'll be watching, don't you worry.
Oh yeah, right. So start off. James Batchelor, grade A late contact on passer, 1 penalty point and no further action. Sam Luckley, grade B late contact passer. Bloody hell, every week I do this. Late contact on passer, 3 penalty points and a fine. Jack Sinfield, grade A dangerous contact, 1 penalty point and no further action.
Come on, guys.
See now, look what you've done. You had to, I was focused,
Absolutely.
right?
Stitching the bloke
Then
up there.
you piped up. Too busy rattling this. Oh, for fuck's sake! I feel sorry if you're missed. I don't know how she puts up with you.
He's all talk.
Yeah, Guillermo Aspiro Bichet,
There you go.
grade B, other contact. You wait till you're talking next. I'm going to bother you. Grade B, other contrary behaviour, 3 penalty points and a 1 match suspension. Hugo Tisson, grade B, late contact on passer, 3 penalty points and a fine. Andrew Badrock, grade B, trip, 3 penalty points and a fine. And Luke, this is a new one to me.
Paul
Luke
Selly, is it?
Poselli, yeah.
Yeah.
Selly?
What grade A head contact, 1 penalty point and no further action. Love you too, Bazza.
I just felt I needed to get that one in there, guys, because you've done well there with all the distractions. Yeah, so fair for you to that.
It's normal now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just part of the process, fellas, isn't it? That is for sure. For the last month or so, maybe 5 or 6 weeks now, we've been running the Roses debate, where we obviously asked other viewers of the podcast a general rugby league question. They're coming with a video and try and get obviously some reaction from everybody watching the pod plus us three. This week's podcast sort of question was from a friend of yours, Gaz, Paul, Warrington Wolves fan, and this is what his question was.
Podcast.
Hi guys, this is Paul here, Warrington Wolves fan. Quick question, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the potential investment and involvement from the NRL. Is it something you want to happen? You're looking forward to it? How do you feel about them having some control and saying the game over this side of the world? And do you think it could benefit us or hinder us, especially on the international stage? Yeah, love to hear your thoughts. Thanks guys.
Right, first of all, you can't have a fan of a Cheshire team on the War of the Roses, right? So we'll get that out the way, first of all.
No discrimination on this podcast.
Nah. Do you know what? It's a very... I said you can't have a Cheshire fan on the bloody War of the Roses, can you?
Cheshire fan.
Don't tell him that. He'll have an heart attack.
Technically, isn't he from St Helens?
So he moved from Warrington to St Helens when he was young.
Ah, right. I thought it was the other way
That's
around.
how we know him, yeah. But I don't know if it's a case of once it happen. I think it has to happen. Because obviously we see how many clubs are losing money every season. You know, it just needs to be sorted out, doesn't it? It really needs to be sorted out. Because the Super League's a mess. It is an absolute shambles.
The thing is, this question's like, how long's a piece of string? So it's great
It's
talking.
a very good question.
Very good question, but it's as long as as how long's a piece of string it can. This debate, you could do a separate podcast just on this question alone, couldn't you? And really elaborate on the different areas that But I think we've just got to keep it to yes, it is beneficial, or no, it's not. I mean, Jordan, how do you see it?
Very much. I'm on the well, not the fence, but where I've said from previous times we spoke about it. I'm all for it, as long as we get to keep our English sort of. I don't want them changing it. I don't want it all changing to like NRL style where there's like 2 refs on pitch and all that stuff. I wouldn't want them to completely change everything. I think our English game is
John,
so
we can't
good.
get the job done with 1 ref, never mind 2.
Well, yeah, but I don't want his English game to change. So much. I think one of like the main points that I'll say, and I'm sure you'll both agree with me, is if it came, I don't know, with £1 million and went, right, we'll buy you decent cameras. Right? I'll deal with that. That'll be probably the best thing where we can get proper zoom ins with, balls being put down and referees when they're saying that they can't decide if it's try or not, get different angles, make sure everything's
Cameras
all
aren't good
crisp.
enough.
You what?
The cameras aren't good enough.
No, the
You
cameras
slow
aren't
it down
good enough.
by any slight amount, and it's as blurred as my vision on Saturday.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
some of them Sky cameras, it's like they're recording with a Nokia 3310. They're that pixelated, aren't they? Especially on the zooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is it a possibility of maybe taking our broadcast, like say Sky, and putting it to what is it? Is theirs Premier Sports?
They have it on multiple.
I think
they have
TNT were
Fox
interested,
Sports.
but
Yeah.
they got picked up Union then.
Yeah, say like anything like that, I'm not bothered about. If it, do you know what I mean? If it's going to benefit fans potentially, because obviously you're going to want NRL fans watching Super League game, aren't you? That's obviously one of the reasons why it would happen. It gets them to watch our games. We'll probably be more interested in watching their games because it's kind of all on one channel. I think that would be beneficial for a lot of teams, especially for like a household as well. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not one of those. At the moment, it's very much like I don't watch many NRL games. I'll be honest, because it don't interest me and it don't bother me in a sense. Like I don't really know what's going on in NRL. I just concentrate on the Super League. So I think if it were one of those things where we kind of smashed them both together, I probably would start watching more if I knew we were kind of within the same sort of broadcasting and etc. That's probably one of the reasons for me. But yeah, I think we need the money more than anything because we are very short, aren't we, in the funds.
What I would like is if they did take over, if they brought Fox over with them, like you got Fox League. Have that bring that over with them. I know it's going to be difficult to fit in with Sky Sports and all that. Maybe it'll end up being like an extra subscription or something like that. But would you do that if it meant you getting a better visual experience of the game? You get something like the footy show, which we've not seen since Boots and All.
Yeah,
there's nothing that Sky Sports are doing to bring in the interest of people who've never watched rugby league before.
I tell you one thing that I do. And you both are going to 100% agree with me, right? If they came in and were doing changing the broadcast and all that stuff, one thing I get them to change is getting to change this bloody Sky Plus thing.
Yeah, it's
and
awful.
Getting them proper games because you watch them, don't you? And obviously, we're rugby fans. We're obviously grateful that they're all televised. Of course we are. I'm not going to say we're not, right? But you'll get it, and all you're hearing is commentary. There's no intro. There's nothing, is there? And then it's straight onto game. You're having to wait until kick-off, and then screen comes on, and it's like, right, you're playing. There's no entertainment in that sense. And I think that's what they've lost in previous years, I'll be honest. Fans do want to watch the build-up. They do want to watch your teams training on pitch. You want to see a bit of entertainment, maybe. It clearly shows that there's not funds there for them to do it. So
for
for me,
in the NRL, you never see 2 NRL games overlap, one after the other, next day, one after the other.
Yeah.
And you can just keep it on that one channel for, I don't know, say from 1 o'clock till 9. Install there one channel. If your team's not playing that day, you're going to sit there and watch all the games and not have to mess about. And they build up before, then after, then they move on to the next game or whatever. This works so wrong over here because you're being forced to decide what game you want to watch instead of being able to watch them all.
Yeah, but I think one thing we've got to do, we've got to reel ourselves in a little bit here because, hey, I'm no financial director or any expert in
It's
terms
all
of
hypothetical, this,
finances.
Carl.
Yeah, but they're not just going to say, right, there's 100 million quid there, fill your boots. They're going to be dipping the toes in to see what they're going to get out of it. So we can talk about other broadcasters coming in and all this and all these cameras, and it's all great, but they're not going to do that straight away. They're going to want to retain it, within a certain amount of years. They'll have a structural plan in place, won't they? They're not, they might just improve a couple of things at a time. They're not just going to go, right, there you go. It's Christmas Day, are they? So I think we've just got to be I think it's clear to see that it has to happen, Gaz. I totally agree with you that it has to happen. But there'll be T's and C's with that and what the pinpoint face needs to improve. And then there'll be a chain of bullet points of what they need to improve over a certain amount of years if it's successful.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If they come over and take over, they'll know how to market the game and bring new eyes onto it.
Yeah.
Whereas what's happening with Sky Sports now, and it's down to RFL as well, they're just quite happy being this, what they call the M62 corridor, aren't they?
Yeah.
Apart from London Broncos.
I think the thing for me is NRL's always been successful. It's like a multi-billion pound company, isn't it? And Super League is never that.
Sponsorships to get.
That's what I mean. Super League would never get that. So for me, NRL runs itself. So it'd be one of those things where they'd have to actually work for this. They'd have to, like I say, it wouldn't be the fact of throwing money and just going, oh, there you go. They actually would have to come and put the groundwork in, because for us to get even a breadcrumb next to how NRL is run, they'd have to really show some big signs. And I actually do generally think they will actually improve a lot of things. It's just I don't want them doing too much where they're changing rules and stuff. That's like the thing for me that I don't want. But I think everything outside, like the background sort of thing, I think that is very much needed.
Yeah, I think we'll pack this one up, fellas. But to answer Paul's Rose's debate question, I think we're all in agreement. We certainly need it, don't we?
Yeah. Cheers, Paul.
That's for sure. There was a segment that we've added on the request of Jordan, the CEO's request of Player and Coach of the Month awards moving forward. We put this out to poll, didn't we, to vote on us socials and our WhatsApp community page. Player of the Month goes to Ollie Ashelbot with 70% of the votes. I'm pretty sure nobody can disagree with that. Have you got a clip for us, Jordan, just to back up the votes arguments?
I haven't.
I'm useless. These bloody CEOs.
I'm useless, mate. I'm absolutely useless.
No, when they asked if you needed anything else before, I went, no, it's all right. I've got it all sorted.
If I'm being honest, I had a blank.
Leading up to his injury, Gaz, he was pretty much, Toulouse's main man, wasn't he? And I think that, is reflected in the votes he's received.
Yeah, you can't argue. I think we all put that forward, didn't we, when we put ours together?
Yeah, I think all three of us went with that. And I mean, that was the player of the month, Jordan. The coach of the month, obviously there was three shortlisted, wasn't there? And the man that came out on top was the man that just fell short against the Warriors at the weekend. So this month's coach of the month, he was voted by 83% of the votes, and that was Leopards coach Adrian Lamb. He's certainly got him moving forward since the early part of the season, Jordan, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He has. I'll be honest. I was surprised at that one. I didn't think there were going to be that many votes as high for him. I personally wanted the Toulouse.
It was Steph voted about 20 times. That's what that was.
I was going to say, yes. Steph's been putting back in, hasn't he?
It was the Toulouse coach for me, coach, just because of how the month that they've had. But yeah, it's one of them. Like I say, they have. It's not like when you actually think about it logically, it's not a stupid decision, because they have literally the last month they've turned it on, haven't they? And turned all that negative into positive. And I think when me included were down in their season, they've started playing. And I think we said it last week or week before, they've basically turned it on the exact point that they need to. And I'm sure commentator said it as well, that most people would be worried about playing Lee right now, especially at home. But just in general, like I think they've started playing at the right time. They've found the form. Yes, they fell short against Wigan, but you know, I don't think that's too much of a hurdle. You know, they're still there and they're still pushing that table. So come end of season, I reckon they'll be a tough team to beat in that playoffs.
No, and the three shortlisted guys was Brad Arthur, Sylvan Hules, as we touched on a minute ago, and obviously Adrian Lamb, which was the winner.
Adrian Jam.
Adrian Jam, yeah, that was Gaz after a few beers at the weekend. I mean, it'd have been
like
so easy. It'd have been so.
You'll get that. You'll get that. These won't.
They're so young, aren't they? It's like what was I saying now? Sorry, it'd have been so easy just to think, right, Rhinos are still at the top of the shop. Let's vote Adrian Lamb. Adrian Lamb.
Brad Arthur.
Brad Arthur. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like Steph said, there they've got 100% winning record in July, so you can't really argue with that one.
I mean, it wouldn't have been a shocking thing getting Brad Arthur in there, just because it's not. The thing is, so a lot of Super League fans are a bit deluded in this sense, like Leeds are expected to be up there. Yes, probably are up there, but they're not top at league. Like, we don't usually stay where we are. We normally have dropped off by now. So Brad Arthur, if he would have had it, I would have fully, you know what I mean, been on board with that. But I'm all for the fact that there is other teams below us, and that 6 and 7 is a tight affair. So, you know, while Leeds are battling one side at coin for that Leaders' Shield, you know, there's other teams battling on other end, trying to get into playoffs. So everyone's got something to play for. So fair play.
No, that is it. So that is our player and coach of the month, Ollie Ashelbot and Adrian Lamb, respectively. There's not so much to cover in news round, but we'll see how see if AI Karl's had any upgrades. Probably not.
Probably not.
Karl scrolling through the headlines quick. Stats in his head, he's picking up the pics from the terrace. Talk to the training ground. It all kicks off in Karl's news round. We're talking rugby league all night. To Yorkshire and a mic under floodlit skies. From the hard hits, heartbreaks, golden tries. We laugh, we shout, we argue, we're alive. Say rugby league.
I'm getting used to seeing myself the same every week now, so that's calmed me down.
That's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a standard. At least I know what I'm getting type of thing every week. I'm happy with that, so that'll do me. First piece of news: former Catalan back Josh Sim. He has left the Dragons and signed with Oldham until the end of the season. He has not played for the Dragons for 5 months. When I did a bit of research on this, I don't think it was due to injury. I just think he fell out of favour with the Catalan club. So obviously he's going to go over to Oldham and try and rectify the rest of the season. And who knows, we might see him again in Super League. I know he played.
The issue with Josh Sim is the shoes he's been expected to fill.
Yeah,
because he's the grandson of a Saints legend, Jeff Pimlett. So immediately you get the comparison, and I think he's just not been able to live up to it, and it is what it is for him.
Yeah, and it's hard, isn't it? Because when you're expected to be like that, and you know, people around him might not judge him, but every man and his dog are everywhere else, aren't they? So that just comes with the territory, unfortunately. The next piece of news is quite a. If it comes off, it'll be the only Prime Minister I'll clap my hands to. New Prime Minister Andy Burnham says he will make difference to the grassroots in rugby league, and I believe he's already made a personal donation to a grassroots club. If he can yeah, that's right. So if he can do this, you know, a bit more frequently, guys, surely it only benefits the game. And we've all been crying out for this help, haven't we? And if he's recognising it, surely it can plough us forward.
Well, I know I'd rather my tax money went towards that, if I'm going to be honest.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'd rather it went to that than some of the gobshite it goes to now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also Jordan, he's saying a lot of things at the minute because he's newly elected and the budget's out in October and all the rest of it. All the rest of the, the big decisions come with being the prime minister. But if he's serious about what he's doing, surely everybody, in grassroots and rugby league as a whole are going to back him, aren't they? Because we need that exposure and we need that financial backing.
Yeah, we do. We do. It's something that we've been lacking for a while. I think just like I say, I think we struggle with getting more eyes on us and new people. I think it's hard to. I think it's an hard sport to get your eyes on. Really, everybody's all about football, aren't they? So it's rugby's a very much of a niche sort of sport. A lot of people I know personally don't watch rugby. So within my friend group, it's quite a small minority.
Egg chasing.
Yeah, it's a small minority. Everybody's on about football and stuff like that. So, yeah, it would benefit us, and hopefully it can do really well for a sport.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, a lot of these potential prime ministers or past prime ministers, they promise a lot of stuff, don't they? So hopefully he can follow through with that, and like I say, we'll give him the credit as and when that does happen. My next piece of news on my notes, I've just put a couple of basic words, and it says Ryan Carr at it again. Now, for those who haven't listened, for anybody that's not watched in recent weeks, he's come out and slated a number of his players. It was only about a month or so ago. He wanted a lot of them players wasn't good enough for Super League, and they was going down to the Championship. I mean, yeah, they've had a couple of wins in recent weeks, but how many times are you throwing your players under the bus? I mean, I know you've got a strong opinion on Ryan Carr, Jordan, but surely he just needs to steady the ship now, ready for next season.
Yeah, he does. It's not that I don't like him. I think it's he's very. I mean, to be fair, he's no different to like McDermott. Brian McDermott. I think he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's a little bit aggressive sometimes with how he speaks. Like he's not really scared to say things, is he? But I think that just needs to be put into players. I think the players just need to kind of play with that mentality.
So and you do that in the changing rooms, or
yeah, I get that.
You don't flog your players on TV.
No,
like
you don't. No, you don't.
They're not getting results.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that. I think that's just the slight unprofessionalism in him, which I'm sure he will look at that and analyse that a little bit. Because obviously in public eye, like Gaz very much said, you say that behind closed doors to your players. Obviously that don't get out of the changing rooms, does it? It's then a small word said to your players or whatever. But I think when you say it on live on Sky, it's like I've said previously. I think I said it a few weeks ago when he was saying it. It's disrespectful to the sport. It's disrespectful to Championship as well, because there's arguably a couple of teams in there that are probably Super League or could potentially be Super League level. And now they turned it around a little bit. Like you said, that they're not winning every game, but they're in there and they're winning odd games here or there. He's quick to change his sort of words in it, so he's a bit of a comic-y guy, if I'm being honest. I personally don't think he's the right man for Castleford. I'll be honest. I think when you're selling your players down the river like that, I think that's your first sign that he's probably not the right coach. Probably for now, yes. I think I wouldn't interfere with Castleford right now. I think by the end of the year, though, even though I know full well that he isn't going to go, because I'm sure they've signed him for a few years, haven't they? He's obviously the man that they believe is going to come in and change things. I don't personally think he's the right man, but that's just my opinion.
But the thing is with that as well, Steph's commented there, and it makes a good point that, these coaches are acting on behalf of a club which they're contracted to, which the TV rights are contracted to the club as well.
Representing that club.
you're representing that club, and you're giving one-word answers and snotty sort of, post-match interviews when it's not been so well. It's not a great look, is it? Not just for the club, but for the competition as a whole, Gaz.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that about Rowley as well. So he came across cold. His interviews, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, he's outside noise. But listen, I'm thinking, you should be listening to the outside noise because the outside noise are paying your bloody wages, mate.
Yeah.
But as far as Karl goes, I mean, if I'm in that dressing room and I hear that, I'm knocking on the door, going, "What's that about?
Yeah,
Why are you out there saying that instead of coming in here and having a come? In fact, I'm going upstairs to the chairman, if anything, and say, listen, we're not playing for someone who's going to do that to us.
well, that's what I mean. Like,
it's no wonder not getting results.
That's what I mean. Though, how does he know that ain't going to happen? Do you know what I mean? If your players refuse to play for you, we've seen it loads of times, haven't we? If you've lost the dressing room, and let's be fair, not just losing dressing room, you're slating the players on camera, and then God knows what he's saying to them when he's in there, because it's not a good look, is it? And let's be fair.
Imagine them coming into training on Monday, going, "Why are we bothering?"
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
to be fair, fellas, we might be making a few assumptions here, but he might just be playing the game with the media. But if he's playing the game with the media, he's doing it far too often for me. And it's not, like you say, it's not respectable, is it?
No, especially when in the days when he's walking around with that club's badge on his clothing, and he's representing that club. It's like me going out wearing this t-shirt, making an absolute tit myself. And someone's going, oh, he's off that podcast. You know what I mean? You don't do it. You represent the brand that you're wearing, the club that's paying his wages. You got there and show respect to it.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I got a complaint from somebody jumping in the River York at weekend, pissed up with a Yorkshire for a cap on. So, and you're the only person that was in York on the weekend, mate. So I'm hoping it's not you.
Right.
Yeah, we don't pay wages
here. Your cap was here.
We don't pay wages here.
Don't condone that behaviour either.
And I can't swim, so once I've jumped in the river anyway.
You're not coming back out. No,
exactly.
jokes aside, fellas. I think it's whether it's right or wrong. You've pretty much got to be a poker player with the media, haven't you? So even if you are steaming inside and you want to tear the wallpaper off the changing rooms, you can't come across that. It's like playing poker, and you've got to go out and put a front on at times, and that's what Ryan Carr's obviously not doing. That he's just doing things his own way. Hopefully, it doesn't bite him in the ass, because, like you say, next thing you know, he'll be ruffling feathers internally.
Look at some of the most successful coaches here. I mean, obviously, Willie Peters is successful at the minute. He's not coming out flogging the players. Matty Pete doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Christian Wolf didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, he might have walloped him in the change room, but he'll come out and he'll protect him to the camera, and then he'll go and deal with it in the right way.
I think the phrase
I can imagine Willie Peters ball at Mikey Lewis for getting that suspension.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's going to protect him in front of the camera.
Yeah, and that's the job he's employed to do. I think the overriding thing with this is don't air your washing in public would come to mind. Yeah. The next piece of news, fellas, was regarding the Salford club champ, and I think this is really, people might think, oh, what are you reading this out for? But I think this is really where it starts. It starts at the bottom. An unnamed Salford current player has been shown the door from Ryan Brealey and Salford and been sacked. And the reason was he didn't shake the coach driver's hand. So people might say, oh, that's a bit pathetic. It's a bit this, it's a bit that. And well, talk about culture. You're getting it right from the very, very bottom, guys. That's a prime example of it. If you're not, setting the standards and getting the culture right, you're on your way. So that's a hell of a statement.
Yeah, it reminds me of Alex Ferguson, that sort of thing, where he went into the club and he knew everyone's name, from the cleaners to the board members. You do need to show respect to everyone at the club, even if they're just driving the coach or whatever. They're part of that team getting to the game that they need to go and win. You know what I mean? They're all a part of it. Yeah, it can come across as a bit petty, but it's those little differences, those little percentages. If things don't go right there, domino effect, and you need to be tight on stuff like that. And if that's how they're going to conduct the business, regarding the players, then so be it.
Yeah, and we talk all the time on this podcast, Jordan, about connection and teams training with each other, and everybody being under the same roof and the same umbrella. This is a prime example of that. Whether you're the kit man, the water boy, the ground staff who cut the pitch, whether you're the coach driver in this in this instance, you're all part of that club and you should be respected.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it kind of goes without saying with Salford, with everything that's happened with them, and they've obviously rebranded, they've dropped down a division, everything's completely changed, hasn't it? I think for them, everything's starting from the ground. So the things like you've just mentioned there are probably big, probably seen under microscope probably more than most teams are right now because of where they are. And obviously they're trying to get a new identity. They're trying to build themselves back up again. And they're obviously wanting the right people around them to kind of get them back up. And it's one of those things, isn't it? You don't want a player, an individual player to have that bad attitude that could go on to a young player coming through, give them sort of bad habits. It may have just been, like say, it might have just been an offhanded comment. He might have not had a bad day or something. Yeah, I don't condone it. But yeah, if that's how they want to do business, there'll be a lot of players that'll be looking over the shoulders for 100% for that. So there'll be worse things, I'm sure, that'll come out over other things, and see if they get the same treatment. But it's refreshing to see that you've got that. Probably a lot of Super League teams probably could do with that. You'd probably have a lot of players going left, right, and centre with some of the stuff that happens in Super League. So fair play to them. Yeah, very much.
It's part of instilling discipline into the team. A little thing where if you don't shake this coach driver's hand, you're gone. Then imagine what they do if it's something big. I say, oh yeah, we need to conduct ourselves right here.
Yeah, and they've also said he's an unnamed player. Well, there'll be all sorts of people looking through their squad at weekend because whoever's not named will be on the list, won't they? So it can only be one of a few people. So we'll keep a note of that. The last piece of news from my news round this week was obviously brought out later on today, and I'm sure for anybody that's watching who follows Gazzy's In That Number podcast will get more of an in-depth response to this. Jack Wellesby, Gazzy's come out and said, he wants to stay at Saints, but if he's not required, he will move on, and he just wants what's best for the club, mate. How do you see this sort of statement going down with the St Helens faithful?
Right, for a start, Matt Shaw or whoever's running the admin on Love Rugby League has twisted this so badly. They put out there say, "Oh well, I want to go." No, what he said is he'd rather stay, but where we are at that time, for me or the club, whichever's best for all parties, is what he'll go with. Got no argument with that at all. And I think he come off really well in that interview. To be honest, I think he's put a lot of nonsense to sleep in that.
I've heard the like I say the different opposite to that. I've heard like he wants to stay because he likes playing under young lads. He likes to see himself as maybe a mentor to them. If I've got that right.
He basically said it as he's take on that role.
Yeah.
When he said like at 25, he's one of the oldest of that group, and he needs to do that. And it's not an easy job to do, especially at that age. That's what we do, like towards your late 20s, early 30s, where you become that leader. But he's been around long enough. It's his testimonial year next year. So I think he's realised he needs to lead by example and bleed these young lads in.
Just on that, and it might be one of them. This decision, whether they extend his contract or not, might not be down to the current coaching staff.
Exactly,
it might be whoever comes in and says, right, we'll give you another year, but you sort yourself out. So we're all assuming it's the here and now. It's all comes in and he'll have his say on it for sure. So
we've still got 2 years.
I think for me, and I'm sure Gaz would probably agree with this, I'd build it around Robertson and Wellsby. Build this new St. Helens around them, and obviously then you've got your Sailor in there. Maybe it does probably need a bit of a reshape, does Saints, but I think you've got some individual players in there that are the right people for that team. I think, like say, getting rid of Wellsby, I don't know who would sign him because he can't go to Wigan, he can't go to Warrington, because that would just kick up so much, aggro that I reckon. And B, I think he's the right man for you. It's just you know what I mean. He's playing with a team that is new. He's not playing with the team he's had for the last 5-10 years. You know what I mean? His Saints have completely changed. The whole, Roby's gone. All your other players
of the guard.
You what? Sorry,
it's a change in the guard, and we should have been preparing for this 3 years ago.
Yeah, you said
we should have been preparing for this in 2021. Is when we should have started preparing for this.
Yeah, but you're not the only. Like say, Leeds have been critic for it as well. Do you know what I mean? It's you don't expect
we should have learned from that.
Yeah, you don't expect it. You don't expect it to hit you that hard when it happens. And I think a lot of teams aren't sort of expecting it. I very much think, or I still think, Saints have probably managed it a lot better than Leeds did. Leeds completely fell off the wagon when we did that, our sort of transitional period. So I think even though you're kind of in the same boat, you're still doing okay. So for me, I'd build them around Wellsby, your team.
Yeah, definitely, likes of should be Robertson and Whitby as 6 and 7 eventually.
Yeah, you like Whitby, don't you?
It will. Yeah. It'll come round. It'll come round, mate. It's just time. Everything takes time, and like you said earlier, Rome wasn't built in a day. Baz has just come in with a random comment. Just a quick thought on this about Betfred parting ways at the end of the Super League season. Now that's news to me. Whether where Baz has. But I don't know where Baz has got this from, but I'm pretty sure they'll find another sponsor, because at that level they're normally okay. We've never really struggled for a sponsor at that level, have we? So I think we'll be okay on terms of that. But it's something.
Bring back Stones Bitter.
Stones Bitter, yeah.
That's the one I remember. The first one I remember.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps news roundup, guys. Round 22 preview. We know the drill by now, don't we? Some nice, quick, rapid. What you call it? Score predictions. Thursday, 8 p.m. Gaz, your beloved St. Helens at home to the Black and Whites of Hull FC. Now, if you don't beat these, Gaz, me and you are going to fall out. That's how confident I am.
How can you blame me for them not doing the job?
Because I'm that confident you will do them. Your players could turn up on one leg, and I'm pretty sure they'd still beat them. How do you see it going down?
No disrespect to him, but if that's any other team in Super League at the minute, I'm expecting to lose. But I don't know. I mean, even with this one, I don't know.
What, even Huddersfield?
They're looking better than SC, aren't they?
Yeah, agreed. Surely you're backing the boys, though, mate. Come on. At home on a Thursday night.
I'm backing them.
Backing the boys. Jordan's got one of them smirks on his face I don't like looking at. There's something going on around him. He's gonna. There's a bombshell coming here, isn't there?
Are you forgetting that you can see me? I've just come full screen.
It's like on what you call it. Do you remember Jeremy Clarkson on what's his face? And used to on that bombshell and used to finish Top Gear. This is what Jordan's going to do now. Just drop bombshell on us. Go on, mate. Give us your prediction.
No, I'm not actually. I'm not. I don't even know why I was smiling. To be.
Bazza, you crossing the line there now.
What's he saying?
Bazza's just come in with
if
a comment.
FC win after doing a Wigan shirt.
Yeah, I only thought that was for stag do's. As a punishment for a stag do.
That's why I'm never getting married.
Yeah,
no, exactly I'll back Saints as well. I think that yes, it was a surprising result. I think we can all agree with that. But I think Saints showed a lot of character in that back end of the game. At least shows that they're still trying. And even with the backs on the wall, they're still pushing. I think they'll take that performance. next week, and especially with being at home as well. I think I'll actually say this, Gaz, and you're going to probably be blown away by this, but I actually think that you might do them by quite a bit.
I mean, we have to, don't we? We need to get that points difference up.
But I think it's going to be more of a statement win, if I'm being honest.
I was just about to say, I'm going to go Saints by 30.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
I think an early try gets the Brewdog bouncing, and I think as soon as you put any...
there's a lot to play for. There's a lot to play for because there's a very prestigious award up for this game. That's the Steve Prescott.
Yeah.
So we can't be... I thought we've lost that for 9 years.
Yeah, I still... you could be playing for a saucepan and what you call it, couldn't you? A frying pan and a spoon, and I still think Saints would win it.
We're lucky we're not playing for the wooden spoon, to be honest with you.
But yeah,
I know they are.
I think it's fair to say all three of us are backing Saints on this one. Friday night's games, we've got the Lee Leopards versus York Knights, Wakefield versus the Rhinos, and the Cast Tigers at home to Hull KR. I mean, Leopards, Knights, I know what you call it, Jordan, sorry, the York Knights have been decent in recent weeks, but Lee at home, different beast, aren't they? And I don't see York making it, another win.
I don't know. I see that as a good game. I do see Lee winning that game. Definitely agree with you with that. We see it all the time, don't we? Like, especially with Cass, they come back and beat Leeds in that game and then lose week after. It'd be so York, wouldn't it, to get absolutely battered after doing so well against Saints. So it's one of them, innit? But especially at home, yeah, I'd find it hard for York to win that. I'd say Lee by 18.
Yeah, I mean, Gaz, you saw firsthand what York are capable of. But when you're going away to the LSV, it's a different animal, isn't it?
I mean, I could do a Jordan and pick York because I need Lee to lose, but I'm not stupid. So I'm going with Lee. I think Lee, it's a bit like you say. Not calling you stupid, Jordan. Just Lee Sports Village. You know what I mean? It's a tough ask, isn't it? They are very good at home.
As much as I like watching the York Knights, and I think they're bringing a lot to Super League at the minute, I just think Lee will be so strong for them, even more so at home. So all three of us, in favour of the Lee Leopards. Game of the round, this one for me. Wakefield Trinity versus the Rhinos. Jordan, I know Trinity's place, the DIY Kitchen Stadium's not a happy hunting ground at the moment for the Rhinos, but if they're serious about sticking in that first position, they've got to get the win, haven't they?
I mean, to be fair, I'll be honest, it probably is the game of the round because I see all the other games quite clean cut, if I'm being honest. I think it's a round where most of the other teams should really win that. But it's a tough ask. It really is. I think with them being behind us in second, they're obviously going to want to keep their DIY Kitchen Stadium. We need to make sure that they've paid the bill. So we don't get no outage. I think these are my worries, you see, when I've been talking about the last couple of weeks with Leeds' injuries. We struggled in that Toulouse game, getting off that hooking half. I thought O'Connor were really good, but the forwards were so vital in that game. And I think when you play in an outfit like Wakefield, who aren't like Toulouse, because Toulouse were losing a lot of pace in that game with Rhinos. You're playing a Wakefield team that when you don't start well or you don't start playing, they will punish you. And I think that'd be a really tough ask, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't be shocked Leeds losing that game. I'll have to back. I'll back my boys, obviously. Even though I know that could go easily the opposite way. I'm going to probably go Leeds by 6.
As close as that?
Yeah.
Do you see it being a tight affair, Gaz?
Yeah, very tight. I I'm going to throw the golden point card out there.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
And I think it's going to go to Waker.
Could you imagine
sorry,
Sinfield?
Jordan, but
could you imagine
exactly
Sinfield
that's
doing
what I'm
that?
thinking. Jack Sinfield striking.
Could you imagine?
Place your bets now. That's all I'd say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad. I'll be honest.
If
it's in,
you know me.
Don't lie.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I mean, for me, I'm expecting Wakefield to have a bump in the road, and I think this bump in the road will be this week. I think Rhinos will do them. I generally do by maybe
it's
12 points.
Power outage in the 65th minute.
No,
do you know? And this isn't even me being cocky, boys. Right? If Leeds had a full side, so we're talking Sivo not broken arm, we're talking Hanley still in, Rhino still in, Miller playing great.
Don't do some wins about injuries. We've got 18 out.
Yeah, no.
No,
Leeds for you. This is all hypothetical if buts and maybes, though, isn't it?
Obviously, of course it is. But what I'm saying is, my mindset changes completely if going into that game. If we had all them going forward, I wouldn't have had any palms going. Yeah, Leeds win that game by 18. But now, I'm a bit worried. But I'm not. This is me being big-headed or anything. I'm like that with everyone, though. I thought the Toulouse game were going to be difficult, and look what happened. Obviously, I'm still a bit nervous with Wakefield. I think this is probably one of our toughest games of the 5 that we're playing. So yeah, I'm gonna be nervous. I'll be honest, I'm gonna be nervous.
Do you know the biggest thing for me, and we touched on it earlier on, is the Wakefield pack. If Rhinos can contend that, if Rhinos can sort of contain them, and then Jake Connor can get, starting to pick off his kicks and get Rhinos at the right end of the field, I don't see Wakefield winning. But if Wakefield, and their big fellas get on top, who knows?
I do agree with what Baz is saying here. But on the other hand, Bazza, that we weren't Rhinos that we are this year. Like, that the team that lost in Challenge Cup isn't the Rhinos from previous weeks. Like, we stepped it up massively since then. Jake Connor shops at Netto's.
I think Barry's just throwing his new fishing rod out there with it being his birthday. So he must have got a fishing rod for his birthday, and Jordan must be the first one on the end of the hook.
Do you guys think Leeds then?
I think Leeds will beat them, mate. I do.
I'm actually going Waker.
So what you saying, Karl?
I just think there's going to be a bump in the road at some point for Wakey, because they've been absolutely bang on up to this point, haven't they? I think the time's now that they'll slip up. I do.
Are you saying about 6 points like me, or are you saying a bit more? Or
nah, I'm saying Rhinos by 12.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm saying
Wakey by 1.
Gaz is going Wakey by 1. I'm going.
Oh, trust me, Baz. I know how much of a gobshite you are.
Jordan, what you're going with?
What for the Leeds Wakey?
Yeah, I want a score prediction from you, because you're sitting on the fence and making a lot of excuses.
No, I said I'll back the boys. I said I'll back the boys by 6 points.
By 6. No, that's fair enough, mates. So yeah, 2-1 in favour of the Rhinos. Castleford Tigers at home to Hull KR. Now, I'm a little bit wary about this fixture in terms of us, because Cast do what they do. They got beat, then they beat Saints, then they got beat, then they won the Rhinos. So there's a little bit of a pattern developing here. Don't see Rovers losing, but I can see them maybe getting a close win. I mean, Gaz, do you see the Robins being under threat by Ryan Carr and his men?
If they turn up, it could be a difficult evening, but I just think KR have got too much.
So Gaz is saying the Robins. Jordan.
Baz is right though. It will be a scrappy game.
Yeah, I think it'll be scrappy at the beginning. I think when both teams find the feet, because obviously Rovers are still struggling out there without Mikey. How many games he got left now?
2
more games. Yeah, I think like I say, I said this when Mikey got banned, that you'd have to find a different way of winning. Remember casted Leeds a couple of weeks ago against Hollow. Yes, I know that. I get that, Buzzer.
He's just trying to rub it in.
Yeah. I agree. I think Rovers will win that. I reckon you'll win by 14.
14 points. All three of us going in favour with Hull KR. Saturday's games, there's 3. There's Bradford versus Wyre, Wigan at home to Toulouse, and Huddersfield at home to the Catalan Dragons. Bradford or Warrington, guys? How we're seeing that one?
Warrington. I think Bradford's got too many men out, and they've lost Connor Wynn as well.
Yeah,
by the looks of it. So, Warrington's going to have far too much for him.
Yeah, it's quite an easy one for me. This I'm going to say Warrington by about 18 to 24 points. Jordan, how are you seeing it?
I'm going to go Warrington by 36 plus.
36 plus. All three of us going for the Wire. I mean, I don't think I'd have said that before.
Bazza literally just said that as I just said it.
Yeah, Wire by 36. This could be a really, really difficult game for Toulouse Olympique. They're away at the Brick Community against Wigan Warriors. 5:30 kickoff. I'll start us off. I'm going to go. I think they'll get trounced again by 40 odd points like they did against the Rhinos. Gaz, you seeing any change to that?
Unfortunately, no. Especially in the Brick Community Library. But what? It's all right, Josh is in here. I can say what I want. But
the Brick Community Library. That's there.
Yeah, I think Baz is quite right though, to be honest with you.
You're loving that. Put them sound, aren't you?
Yeah. Just applauding Gaz's behaviour. It's immense. Sorry, mate.
I'm being
Carry on.
today. Coming from her.
It's coming from.
Is it safe to say all three of us are back in Wigan?
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel sorry for him a little bit because obviously they've played really well on that last month. It kills me because I hate Wigan. So yeah, I'm gonna say Wigan by 50 points.
Oh God. Absolutely.
I said, Baz, wouldn't you be if you got beat 46-0 at home by Toulouse?
Yeah, exactly to that. And the final game of the round, Huddersfield Giants at home to the Catalan Dragons. We know the Dragons are up to much, and Huddersfield got a bit of momentum now. Sorry, can they make it back-to-back home victories, Gaz? The Giants.
I'm backing Huddersfield, and Joe what? The predictor is 9-1. 9 points for Huddersfield. So, Joe, I'm going to take that risk and get me points up.
Yeah.
Well, if I lose money, losing 1 point.
No, it's a fair call, mate. And I'm going to back the Giants because I just think they're on a bit of a roll. I don't think Catalan are up to a right lot, really. If I'm totally honest with you, they've been very disappointing and inconsistent. Jordan, how are you seeing this one, mate? Just to see these games out.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield. I think Baz is not far off there. To be fair, I'll say
Karl Bellhammer.
I'll say Huddersfield by 10.
We know who Baz's second team is, don't we?
Yeah, well, everybody's got a second team, haven't they, Jordan? We all know that.
Yeah,
that is for sure. I think that pretty much wraps up another good episode of the podcast. Gaz, do you want to sign us off, mate?
Yeah. So again, thanks to everyone coming in, especially Bazza and his shithousery as per usual. It won't be the same without it. Big thanks to our sponsor, Aircon January Leeds, for their continued support, and thanks to everyone who's. Are you done?
just read your notes. Just read your notes before you drop the punchline.
Yeah, guilty as charged for us. Oh God help me if he comes down to that KR game. Jesus Christ. Anyway, what was you up to? Yeah. Big thanks to everyone who gets involved, whether you're sharing stuff and comments and all that. We appreciate all of it. And that is why the podcast is for the fans, by the fans.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.